I remember this dude in the gym one time walked up to me. It was a 24-hour fitness by Slauson. Walked up to me first season and he was just like, bro, I feel so seen by you. And it's funny too, because he looked like me and he had the same haircut I had at the
Oh
time, like this
wow.
birthday mohawk.
Yeah.
And he feels so seen by you, bro, because like they don't be thinking the cool dudes have vulnerability. And like you just was like
I'm Nyla Smith with the Quintessential Gentleman. And I'm chatting with Ilan Noel today. And I would just go ahead and jump right into your resume, your diverse body of work, and all that good stuff. And we'll go ahead and get started. So I'll just
sure,
kind of like reading off of you got a lot going on. So I'll look at some notes
for
in the
sure. Yeah.
all right. So, as a talented actor on the rise, Ilan Noel continuously builds his body of work by bringing dynamic characters to life in an array of film and television roles. Many of us recognize Ilan from Issa Rae's Peabody Award winning comedy series for HBO, Insecure, where he portrayed the character of Daniel King opposite Issa Rae for 3 seasons. Additionally, Ilan starred as the lead in Gerard McMurray's The First Purge, the prequel to the well-known The Purge franchise, which followed the events that led up to the first ever Purge night.
Mhm.
Alon was also seen in Stella McGee's romantic drama The Photograph, which was released by Universal Pictures, and the Will Packer-produced film, which centers on intertwining love stories in the past and present. Ilan reunited with Issa Rae and joined Lakeith Stanfield and Chelsea Peretti. Other projects include A Lot of Nothing, in which he starred opposite Cleopatra Coleman and Lex Scott Davis, and also by Stella McGee, the independent comedy The Weekend, alongside Sashir Zamata, Tone Bell, and Tawanda Wise. So currently, Alana is starring in the Apple TV Plus limited series Lady in the Lake, opposite Natalie Portman and Moses Ingram in the role of Birdie. So we're catching up with Alon today to talk about his diverse body of work, including his latest role in Lady in the Lake, his perspective on these acting roles, and your general experiences as an actor, as well as your thoughts on style, as this is, in fact, going to be featured in the style issue of the Quintessential Gentleman. All right. So
Yeah.
jumping right in, how did you get into acting? Was it kind of like an accident? Was it a calling from your youth?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because how did I get into acting? All right, so the true story is I didn't have an elective senior year, and I think one of the only available
Yeah,
courses
college, I'm assuming.
senior year of high school actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have an elect. I needed an elective course in order to graduate, and theater and like woodshop and something. The things that I wasn't interested in at the time were the only ones. But I remember there were more. To be completely honest, there were more cute girls in the theater class. So I was like, I'm gonna do this one. I remember this one girl that I had a super crush on. She
Right.
was in class, so I ended up taking the class, and long story short, I ended up falling in love with it, and it ended up becoming like my go-to. I was an athlete at the time, and I ended up not taking any of my scholarships and saying I'm going to pursue theater. And my coach thought I was crazy, and I probably was crazy, but that's how it started. And then from there, it just I got the bug.
Yeah, yeah. So you were a
Yeah,
good athlete, I take it. Sounds like yeah.
yeah.
So
I was,
well,
I placed. I was at state. I was doing my thing. I was doing my thing. We had a really dope track team. I ran the 100 and 200.
right, okay. Oh, so you were all over the Olymp. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I was co-captain since sophomore year, so it's just like no, but it's
Broke
cool.
the heart. Yes,
It
yes.
was a good time, but it was fun. I think theater was cool. Well, getting into theater at first and having an orientation in theater was, I felt like that similar camaraderie that I had when I was on the track. Or I mean, I played basketball, I played football for a little while when I was younger, and it just had that same sort of spirit. Everybody united for one front. That's what it's like being on set. What it's like being on stage. Um, so I needed something like that, especially at that age.
Okay, all right. So just going into Insecure, just my favorite topic personally.
Yeah, let's go.
and I know you probably, I'll try to streamline. Your portrayal of Daniel King had a significant impact on like just the direction that everything went, particularly in season one. You know, with many fans admiring Daniel's cool, charismatic demeanor. How much of Daniel's style, both in attitude and fashion, would you say sort of aligns with your own personally? And has playing him influenced your personal style in any way?
I don't know if it influenced my personal style. I definitely valued what Ayana was doing at our time. That was who our costume designer was when
Oh
I was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I liked what she was doing. I remember taking a bunch of sneakers home with me at the end. Every time she gave me something, I was like, "Oh, yeah, ain't gonna wearing this? All right, bet you,
Not
when we
the
done,
best.
you don't need these no more." My size, obviously. Like, let me take these to the crib.
I love it.
So I guess his style influenced mine in that way. I was just biting everything that he was wearing. And
Mm,
in demeanor, you know, that's we bring a lot of ourselves, in particular, to that role because it was that story was really just about showing Black people and as our authentic selves. And you know,
yeah.
I like to think I can be cool, and sort of, we have a similar demeanor in that way. Um, yeah, does that answer your question? Style wise, I definitely stole a little bit of some cues from him, though.
Okay, okay. So what did you appreciate most about that role and the character?
I think honestly, I just appreciated most about that is just being with Issa. You know,
Mm,
seeing her be the cause and not the effect. Like she took this story that she wanted to tell and show us in this authentic way that she wasn't, that all of us weren't really um, used to seeing. It was just normal. And in our normality, it showed how vibrant we were and how different we were and how unexpected, you know, women in their late 20s are, and all the different varieties of us. And then the men, we got to show our aspects, you know, with Lawrence and Daniel and all the other characters that ended up coming into it. So I just enjoyed being a part of something that is so seminal and that will stand the test of time. And
mhm.
thanks to Issa and Prentice and everybody for really seeing that vision through and let me be a part of it. That was the biggest thing. And then Daniel, it was cool just because, you know, I just got to come in and wreck shop and make things
All right,
make
stop.
make things interesting. You gotta make things interesting for the betterment of the whole story. So I'm glad I had a part in doing that. Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you talked about the normalcy, right? And that was what I particularly liked about Daniel. Like that, I just remember that line in season one where he said something about all girls who went to college, like
Oh,
Drake.
like yeah,
That,
yeah,
that was it for me. That was just the realest line that I had heard in a minute. Like, okay,
yeah,
I don't know if that aged well, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was true to me, but yeah, it's funny. It is funny, and that's the thing when I read it because I think that was the pilot. And
hmm
I read
hmm
at the time, Daniel, we didn't know Daniel was going to be living with, she was going to be living with him season three. I didn't know I was going to be in more than just a pilot. But
right.
reading that and seeing how I had an opportunity, because doing theater growing in college or whatnot, we're doing classics and all of that stuff. This was one of the first times where the things that were actually happening in the community and the culture at large made it to page. So then I was, you know, performing something that was scripted that had the elements that I was currently witnessing. And I was like, damn, yeah, we listened at that time. Drake was like, that's where we go. That's where we at with it.
College Girls and Drake and Moscato, and it worked.
Yeah, you know, Uber, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, it was so poignant and it was a really good time. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So we know that Daniel had the ladies, most of the ladies in a chokehold, and you know that was obvious in social media. That no, why you look surprised?
I mean, I
Uh,
wasn't on media at the time. I just
okay,
got on social media
well,
after, so yeah,
okay. Oh, you were a bit of
yeah,
a okay, fair, but yeah,
yeah.
well, I'm gonna let he did, and
Yeah.
and presumably some men, but you know, what was some of the feedback that you received about Daniel in terms of how Black men related to him? Because I think
I
we heard
remember.
a lot about the Lawrence perspective, like how Black men connected to Lawrence, because you know, he was probably a little bit more visible, I would say. But did you get like any of that feedback from Black men about the character and how they connected with him?
Yeah, I remember this dude. in the gym one time walked up to me. It was a 24-hour fitness by Slauson. Walked up to me first season, and he was just like, "Bro, I feel so seen by you." And it's funny too because he looked like me and he had the same haircut I had at the
Oh
time, like this
wow.
first mohawk.
Yeah.
And he feels so seen by you, bro, because like they don't be thinking the cool dudes have vulnerability, and like you just was like, and I thought that that was very accurate. Like Daniel was cool, but also like he wasn't afraid to show to wear his heart on his sleeve
Yeah.
and be honest and open and transparent with Issa when his feelings were hurt.
Well,
And also
I beg to differ on that. I actually felt
we're talking season one. We're talking season one.
oh,
Wait,
oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'll hear you out though. What were you about to say? My bad.
No, no, no. Because I probably was thinking more season three.
Okay, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that was yeah. It's vague. It's been a long time since then, but
You're
yeah,
right, absolutely. Because I forgot about season one until you said it.
it's true. He did start to harden his shell a little bit, but that was after a few encounters where his vulnerability was taken advantage of, right? So he started to wear. So anyway, yeah, it gets a little hazy for me after that, as you
Okay.
continue. As you see, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, did you understand the choice of like his departure? Were you surprised? Because I felt like he kind of left the show.
It sort of seemed abrupt to me at the time, but that's the thing about the show. It wasn't about the man or Daniel. It was about Issa D, and as her life continued, you sort of just saw the people who were going in and out of your life, people in your life for seasons. So that was just the nature of it. And I appreciated, I mean, he was there for 3 years. I thought I was gonna be on there for an episode. So
Yeah, that's had a good run. Had a good run.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I still got to tell people today that I don't identify as Daniel King. My name is Elan Noel. Everywhere I go, it's Daniel. And they call me other things too, but like Daniel, like you said, has a chokehold on people. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was what you said, but just because it was such a part of the coach of the show, which was a big part of the culture at the time.
And just that it just really was the stimulus for a lot that happened. You know
A
what I
lot of
mean?
things for sure. Yeah.
Own it, own it. It's
All
all
right, you
good.
right. Yeah.
All right. So, Lady in the Lake. It's
Yes,
a
yes.
drama that which is you're currently starring on that on Apple TV. It's a drama thriller set in 1960s Baltimore, which is a quite unique time and period. It revolves around aspiring investigative journalist Maddie, who leaves her husband to solve the mystery of two different murders. Can you tell us a little bit more about your character, Birdie, and why you found him interesting?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a 1960s murder mystery and a lot of different crosses a lot of different genres. And I play a cop, so I have a big part in sort of understanding what happened and why things happen. And Ferdy is a cop. I think one of the things that drew me to him was his integrity. It's 1960s. He's a black man in the 1960s, and he's a cop in the 1960s. So you really got a specific type of person, and he encounters obviously a lot of racism at work. He's in an institution that really isn't ready for his type of representation. And yet he still stands strong on his morals and his principles. A lot of the cops that he works with aren't really great cops. They're on the take, as they used to say. So they're doing things they're taking a blind eye to other things that are happening. Ferdy is just like, nah, we're not doing that.
Right.
And could have easily just sort of went with the crowd, but instead he decides to be very decisive on his morals. And I thought that that was a very admirable trait. Um, and something I wanted to play.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
So to that end, one of the show's themes highlights the difference in the attention given to murder based on race at the time. So do you think our society has progressed concerning some of these disparities?
You said the disparities in regards to murder and race. I mean, no, I think that this the the story was showing how dismissive the white journalists were towards the case of a missing black woman. And
Mhm.
I think that that still pervades. Part of the reason that story is still pointing out is because it pervades what's going on right now. I mean, think about all young girls missing in Atlanta and black girls missing in Atlanta, and all of these cases that sort of do get swept under the rug.
Mhm.
Um, so I think, yeah, in that regards, it's very poignant. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you hope viewers take away primarily from Lady in the Lake?
I think that all the characters, when you find them, they're all going after their dreams. Like our two main protagonists are women who, despite their various backgrounds, like one is a black woman, another one is a Jewish woman,
Mhm.
they're pursuing their dreams, right? And they're pursuing their liberation regardless of the cost. So I think that that is always going to be a notable. That's always going to be inspiring.
Mhm.
Whether it's the 1960s or it's 2024. And another thing that I think it shows pretty well without sort of hammering it home too much is how more alike we are than different.
Mhm.
Like we ultimately, yeah, these women are from two completely different places, but this kidnapping of this girl, when it unfolds, we end up on seeing just how similar they are. Um, and I think that's always going to be something that we can benefit from in today's society, in particular.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So kind of
Yeah.
congratulations on voicing the main character in Xbox's Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a video game connoisseur, but I'm familiar with the name and the title and all that. I got brothers, and so
Yeah,
um, were you an avid gamer growing up, and like how did you get involved in that project? What does it mean to you?
yeah. No, I was an avid gamer. That was like my first form of escape, was just playing games.
Mm.
Playing on Xbox and PlayStation and anything that I could find at the time. I spent hours. I would spend like 8 hours a day, especially Sunday. I was never to be seen. I was playing Madden, making my own team and doing fantasy drafts. Like that was my go-to thing to do. Period. So
Mhm, mhm.
it's cool to be able to be a part of something that is so huge in Call of Duty and to voice one of the main characters. Um, yeah, a lot of my homies played Call of Duty in college as part of their escape. So to be for them to now be forced to hear my voice is sort of the sort
That's
of
hilarious.
that's the biggest thing. And then my younger cousins think I'm really cool now. They don't
Mhm.
watch the other stuff that I do. They're not interested in that. But now they like, oh, you cool, cuz like you got it. So I got a little street career with the fam.
Of course, of course. So you're spreading yourself all over the place, which is that's the goal, right? Um,
So
to that end, you've taken a lot of diverse projects in your career. Do you have a favorite role that you've done, or
a favorite
something that just
role. I mean,
yeah?
for me, it's always the most current, really, to be honest. Like you got
Okay.
something and that I think I'm more I'm really interested in. But that's some recency bias there. So it would be like picking your children, really. Like for me, it's just all about diverse fact that I've been fortunate enough to select things that are different from the other one. We got action here, and we have sort of like, if you let you tell it, romantic heartthrob here, and then we got with the with we in the motion capture suit, voicing and animated and stuff like that. So and all the things that are happening now are completely different from those. So I'm just excited to be able to dibble and dab for different things, really.
Yeah, that's the beauty of being an actor, right? Just the
Yeah, it is. It is.
all these different.
It's really just a gift that keeps giving for sure.
Are we good on time? By the way, I don't know if do we have like 5 to 10 more minutes.
I think we got like maybe like 3 or 5 minutes left. Yeah,
Okay, so I'll just run through a couple of
for sure.
questions. On a broader level, how do you feel the show business landscape is looking for Black men in terms of opportunities?
For black men in terms of opportunity, honestly, like I think it's really not up to the shows for them to tell us what we can do and all that stuff. Really, we talk about Insecure, right? Like that was a show that Issa was doing on YouTube,
Yeah.
you know. And then she took it and said, "All right, this is what we doing. And who gonna rock with me? Oh, y'all not rocking with me? All right, y'all going? All right, cool. Then here's how we doing it. Like that's really what the future is. You know,
Mhm.
we not sitting around and letting anybody dictate the stories that we tell and when we tell them. It's about, are you writing? You know, what are the things that come from God into your brain that you now need to manifest versus sitting and waiting for a parking spot on somebody else's TV show. So I think that that's the thing I'm more interested in when it comes to black stories and stories in general. Like, what are we interested in and how we are going to tell them? Because right, we got phones now, and we have our own. Not just, my phone broke, but it's cool. We got our own ways of telling our stories now. So we need to wait. Obviously, we still gonna play that game because
Mm.
it's be fun at times and satisfying all and lucrative. But it's a lot of different ways we can tell our stories. And I'm excited
Mhm.
for what we got coming up. Yeah.
Love it, love it. So, since we're focused on a style issue, I'd love to hear you describe your personal style.
It changes. Right now, it's super simple. Like, I'm just really about just no decision fatigue with what I put on. I put on as long as my clothes are clean and they fit. Like, that's really where I'm at these days. I wear probably like 2 or 3 pairs of jeans, all in 2 or 3 pairs of shoes,
Mm.
and tees right now, unless I need to get up and go somewhere for a function. But it's all about comfort and simplicity these days. I used to go crazy, and I'm just like, all right, let me just chill a little while. I think I'll get to a phase where I'm back into like being meticulous with it. But right now, it's just about simple and effective. That's really what it is right now. Yeah. And then letting the personality and all of those that letting that adorn the the fit, if you will. You know.
That's a grown man approach, mature, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so last, we'd like to kind of wrap up. I'm cognizant of time. We just want to wrap up. We ask everybody this question: what do Black men need?
What black men need. Black men need. Oh man.
And you
We,
can interpret that however you want.
yeah. To be seen. I think,
Mm.
because we don't really want to say that we need to be seen. So I'll say it. I think that's one of the things is to for it to be known that we need to be seen, because we not really gonna say that. We don't need to say
Yeah,
that. It's definitely important just to be seen, I think, and that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. But that's the first thing that sort of came up.
I like that. That's different. That's different. But
Let's
okay.
go. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you. Thank you so much, Alon. This has been such a pleasure. I wish you all the best in your future, current and future endeavors. And yeah, come back and talk to us soon when, we got something else in the pipeline.
Nah, thank you so
To
much. I
share.
appreciate you.